Inspector video summary. Inspector Valise in Ridgefield, New Jersey. We are on a fire escape that consists of one exit platform. Let me see if I got this. Oh, there we go. Consists of one platform and a staircase. It's very simple. This fire escape shows evidence of original hardware. As you can see, you can still see a lot of the square head bolts and nuts. Some of them are not, and some of them are. So this fire escape could use some spot paint. You can see some of the connections were backed up by bolts, but obviously they whoever did this didn't care to properly seal the connections, so rust wouldn't build in between the connections. So I go down, I want to show you some of the areas that need to be rebolted because of the original hardware. As you can see, this whole post is still have the original hardware. Same with the Eclipse. This is what's holding the staircase, and it has some original, some looks like a new bolt there, original hardware. So all this needs to be rebolted and clean, primed and sealed with a 50-year silicone on both sides. Now, in order to shut this opening here, this gap, they put this channel, and the channel obviously wasn't sealed, and now we have some rust jacking. So you can see it's starting to open up, and some places you can see, you know, right through, like so. And on the staircase, the treads, you can see the buildup of rust in between the connection. Some of them have bolts, as you can see. If I can catch it, like it's hard to see with the sun, but if you can see, they have new bolts, because it looks like this fire escape was originally all welded, and with time they saw the need to put clips and bolts. You can see, if you look at the stringer, I'll try to capture it better from the bottom, but you can see from here, some of the stringers don't have bolts. So that was an afterthought when they realized there was a problem with rust jacking, and the separation of the thread and the stringer started to occur. Somebody started bolting some of these threads down. What they missed was that they did not seal, they did not clean, seal, and prime and paint it in between in order to avoid rust jacking. Water still penetrated this fire escape, and it's doing a good job at getting it all rusted. As you can see, the plate, the stringer, and the angle that they put here to close the gap between the stringer and the wall is completely blown out. Okay, next we continue every single step. It's been compromised with rust in some areas. You can see a complete separation, and a welt is still holding it together. You can see the separation in between the stringer and the thread. As we continue down, well, let me tell you what you need to do here. We need to take the steps out completely. The threads need to come out completely. They need to be clean. They need to be primed. They need to be shut down with silicone, 50-year silicone, sandwich in between, and then rebolted. The silicone, the prime is going to avoid, it's going to prevent any water from coming through, and that will solve that problem. So same thing here with the angle and the stringer. That needs to be open, and that needs to be separated. That needs to be clean. That needs to be sealed, sandwiched together, and then rebolted in different areas. That way it's shut down completely. So again, you can see there's a lot of separation, and these are welds mixed with rust that's keeping these threads in place. But as you can see, there's a lot of damage done to these threads. Now what we do is come down here, ground level, and we can see the footing. The footing, it's nothing that we can do with the footing right now other than change some of the original hardware, but it's sitting down on a fairly new pavement or setup that they have here. It's a fairly new, and what needs to be done down here is to we need to tar the footing, and that will help preventing any more or any rust that might come through, accumulation of snow and rain, at least 6 inches up. That way that will protect the fire escape from getting rusted due to water, ice, and all of that. As you can see, we got a stringer that is clean of bolts, no bolts at all in this one section. Like I said, that the bolts were an afterthought. This was an old welded fire escape. Then we got posts that need to be rebolted because you still have original hardware. As you rebolt this, you open it up, clean it, seal it with 50-year silicone, and sandwich it in and rebolt it. See, we have a lot of issues with this clips. Clips are some of the clips are in really bad shape. They need to be replaced, and they need to be rebolted, clean, primed, and sealed. There's a lot of rust jacking on these clips, and the ones that do have like this one for example, the ones that do have bolts, they did not seal it, so it's holding it together. But whoever did this work did not care for sealing in between, and now you just have a really bad thread a really bad threat on this fire escape. Same here, and same throughout the fire escape. You see some rust jacking through there, and there, and there, and up there, like that. You can see, and some of those don't have bolts, so those very soon will start to create an emergency repair situation. Let's talk about the frame. The frame is an all welded frame, and in all the corners they need to be bolted. They need to be drilled, put a bolt in there to reinforce each one of them. Same with both of them. Both sides, they do have a rod that is coming through the building, through the wall, but it's a rod that has been placed there, welded. So we need to. The solution for that is to drill right through the bolt into the support bracket and marry it with a bolt. Same thing with this one, the back, on the tail, and on the nose. Same thing with that one and that one. Again, it doesn't need a full paint job. It could be spot painted. So again, this fire escape needs to change original hardware. You need to clean connections, and you need to seal connections in order to have to be fully refurbished. You got two choices. You can spot repair and load test, but again, most of the threads are really gone, so I would say this fire escape needs to be fully refurbished, and to avoid a load test. Again, the authority, the city official in charge of this address would require spot repairs and a load test, but in order to avoid that, in lieu of that load test, you can do a full refurbishment of this fire escape and avoid the load test. Remember, the load test is required every 5 years. By doing a total refurbishment, you would avoid a load test for the next 20 years, 20 to 25 years. So again, the recommendation on this fire escape is a total refurbishment, cleaning up of all connections,